Hey everyone, and welcome to the Artisans, the Maker, and Me. I'm Beth Scalacci from VillageWorks Communications, and today I want to introduce you to Sandy of Purple Sage. Sandy, tell us a bit about yourself, your company, and where you're from.
Okay, I am Sandy. I am the owner and artisan and founder of the Purple Sage. We are located in South Louisiana, Ethel, Louisiana, as a matter of fact. And I started the Sage probably in 2002. I started making product, and in 2011. I came to the realization that there were other women just like me that would probably enjoy the things that I was making, that I was actually making just for fun. And so I created a business based on that, the fact that there are women that have spent the past 2 decades caring for other people, and they get to that aha moment when they realize it's time to care for themselves.
And what, do you do a full line of Bath and Body products, or what does your line look like?
The line includes a soap, a lotion, and our very own Bubble bath product. We also have a peppermint foot butter that is just really cool and refreshing for your feet.
So I love that name of Bubble. What is that?
Bubble is play on my southern roots. The Bubbleaux, that Eaux, the O sound, and so for a bath product, I just played on Bubble and just for something fun and whimsical, because it isn't an adult product. And so it was just something whimsical to do from an adult perspective.
Sure. Well, it goes with a lot of the southern and the area you're from, because I always see the Go Taggers is spelled that way and everything else.
Right, exactly.
It's very fun. So I know you said 2002 is when you got started.
2002 is when I actually made my first cold process soap.
Okay. And then that just sort of led into the business, or what made you decide, like, okay, I want to make this into a business?
It got to the point where I had more soap than I take baths, and can only take so many baths a day, without just washing your skin right. It was at that point, you're giving it away to friends and family, that you realize you have a very desirable product that that other people would appreciate your efforts and willing to pay for it. And then it's that aha moment again that it's like, this could really be a business. I actually, like most creatives, and I laugh when I call myself creative because I've never thought of myself that way. But as creatives, you enjoy the creative part and not so much business part. So that's pretty much where it evolved from a passion of making soap and to share it with other.
That's great. And is there a meaning or story behind why you picked the name Purple Sage?
Yes. Purple is my favorite color.
Mine too.
Almost everything I have is purple. Try to branch out a little bit, but purple is my favorite color, and purple is a sign of royalty, and I am a child of God, so I am royal. And sage is wisdom. We're always learning and growing, and I just put those two things together because I do feel like, as women of a certain age, we're wiser than we realize, and so tapping into that sage and getting other women to tap into that sage and learn how to our benefit.
Well, and that's sort of, as you on your website, you mentioned a lot about the sage that we have within us. Is that sort of what you're talking about, that wisdom that we've gained through the years, or?
Yes, exactly. Most women, myself included, you really don't realize how much how wise you are. You know, I mean, if you've made it this far, you've got some wisdom. You know, it's tapping into that and using that potential to do the things you want in life. You know, we get to this stage and we think like, we may out on dreams we had when we were younger and we were raising our children, or busy with our full-time career and those kind of things. So it's tapping that wisdom that you have, and stepping into the next season of life, and using that wisdom to create the dreams that you may have had over the years.
So I think you should add motivational speaker to your services. I feel like we all need like a daily affirmation from you.
Yeah. Well, I do on social media. I will put out some affirmational things, and or just nice quotes. And it's things that resonate with me, and I feel like if it resonates, then other women can benefit from it.
Sure. I love that. And I know that your products are about slowing down. What is your favorite way to sort of slow down and take the day?
For me, that's a no-brainer. It is creating that being ritual. And it starts with the preparation. You gather the candles that you're going to use, the match, the light, or whatever you to light the candles with, setting them around your tub. The bath itself is a part of slowing down, as opposed to taking a shower, where typically a shower you jump in and jump out. Well, if you're in a bath, you're going to be sitting down and you're going to be relaxing. So you're setting the candles out. Preparation. You also have, I have either a glass of wine or another adult. It's just for that relaxing, calming, and then it's just grabbing the bubble and the soap and creating that bubble bath. And then once you step into it, it's sitting down, relaxing, and just letting all the cares of the day, the month, 2020, just roll out through your toes, and just sitting there enjoying the bubbles. And that's how I sun and relax.
Are you a red or white wine drinker?
It just depends. Usually,
Or whatever's there.
whatever's there. Usually white, and more on the sweeter side, drier side.
And I know there's 5 categories of your products, and they're not in my, I can't remember them all. Can you tell me about each one and when someone should use which one?
Sure, we have 5 categories. They are balance, courage, harmony, strength, and wisdom. Balance is, we're all trying to create that life-work balance, or whatever it is. And sometimes balance is really a misnomer. That for some people it really doesn't exist, and some people have the illusion that it exists. And so we're trying to create that balance, and I think it's more of a mindset where you get balance, because you just have to sometimes excite for where it is, or where you're in life. So that's where balance comes in. Harmony is striving for harmony, because just so much chaos around us, and we strive for harmony. But if you think about it, your harmony is where you and live your little bubble, if you will. If you have harmony in your bubble, it doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world. That's how you create harmony. Courage about stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that you wanted to do or were afraid to do. For me, my first cruise with like-minded business out in the Caribbean was staying out of my comfort zone. And it was a huge, and I say, it got to be a great trip. I may have been laughing hysterically, but I was laughing and having a good time. So it's all about courage. Courage is all about out of your comfort zone. And then stress relief, the name says it all. If you can't achieve the balance, you don't want, and you haven't found the harmony, take the stress relief, and she kind of puts the blanket over everything. You can go just a few moments or what have you. So that's kind of the catch-all for all of those. And then wisdom goes back to the sage, where we talk about tapping into our own wisdom and our own inner self and realizing how wise we are. So that's where those come from. And also sometimes just different seasons in a woman's life. Sometimes you're in a season of chaotic and you need the stress relief. And sometimes those seasons all happen in the same, or what have you, or 2020. So,
or you need them all in one day.
yeah, you might start with a balanced shower in the morning and end up with a bubble bath in the afternoon. You never know. Everything in between. So yeah, kind of where those come from.
And then are there specific fragrances in each of those families?
Right, scent, each balance, courage, harmony, each has its own specifics. This is going to be a lavender. It's a lavender blend. Courage is an oak moss and sandalwood blend with a touch of vanilla that is just to die for. It's also a very good unisex scent. Harm is the old-fashioned milk and honey scent that's nice and soft and just very relaxing. Stress relief is a blend of star anise, eucalyptus with a splash of lavender. So it's kind of a clean spa scent. And then you have wisdom, which is a blend of spearmint, patchouli. But don't let the scare you. That's what actually anchors spearmint. And you smell more of the mint than you do the leaf. So that's they all have their own individual scents, and they're all coordinated as well.
Patchouli does get a bad name, doesn't it? Like
typically, yeah, you love it or hate it. It's not one of those middle of the road. You're either the way explained to me, you're either a hippie that need it or a hippie that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a great blending or essential because it does ground most of your scents.
Yeah, it always cracks me up because people always explain like it's give it a chance. When it's mixed with something, give it a chance.
That is true.
So if you had to pick a favorite product, and it doesn't have to be of all time, maybe it's just today it's your favorite product. What would you say is your favorite product that you make?
Currently Buffalo is my favorite. We recently went through a hurricane here in South Louisiana, and with all of the and stuff that we're having to pick up, and it's a lot more activity than I am accustomed to, obviously. And so in the evenings, it's been a definite bubble bath, just relax and kind of like, okay, we can make it another day kind of thing. So yeah, right now is my favorite product.
I saw you had I think it was on Instagram. I saw before this was Delta, right? There's so many this year.
Yeah.
That you had your like list of things to do before power goes out, and I was just cracking up. Like it's like just like a checklist of everything you need, good and bad.
Yeah. You start out with the essentials as far as food, water, gas, generator, those kind of things, and then it starts to come internally or inside, and making sure the clothes are, the house is somewhat clean. Even as far as the toilets, sure all of that's clean before everything hits, and you don't have time or water or stuff to do that. And then it's also so sure you've had a bath, a nice hot bath, because once power goes out, sometimes it can be days maybe a week or so before you actually get a bath again, if you get a bath. So, that's life, and it can be difficult. The social media post that you're talking about was to add a little humor to the situation, and it does talk about making sure everything is clean shaven and what have you, because you don't know when it'll be again. You get that luxury. Yeah.
Right. Thankfully, it wasn't that long this time, right?
No, we were busy. We were just without for like 24 hours. It really wasn't bad. We survived Katrina back in 2005, and that was like 2 weeks without power. So, big difference, and 24 hours, yeah, you can manage. So it was an interesting time.
You're so calm about it. Like, I'm from the Mid-Atlantic. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I took a year out in California and was terrified of earthquakes for the whole year I lived there. Now I'm back in Maryland. So like when I hear people like, well, it was a few weeks without power because of hurricane, I'm like, no, like God bless you, because I just can't imagine.
Well, I mean, I am 58 years old, born and raised in South Louisiana. So I mean, it is the life, and honestly, we see a storm in the Gulf. I probably shouldn't say this, but reality is category one, category two, yeah, a little concerned. 3, okay, wait, are we prepared? And 4 and 5 was like, holy, this stuff is getting real, so it's kind of a way of life that,
Right.
that's how we react to it. And to be perfectly honest with you, if you evacuate when they tell you to evacuate, okay. It's those then to write it out for whatever reason. But if you just really listen to the authorities when they tell you it's time to leave, it's time to leave. But yeah, so it's a way of life, and honestly, me personally, I like the excitement of the impending. Not that I'm looking for the destruction or what have you. It's not just the adrenaline of the excitement, preparing and getting ready, and then you have all these hurricanes that you get to eat that you normally don't buy.
Right.
So you got to add some humor to it. That's just how we get through it.
That's what we have. If we have impending snow, we go and stock up on the snacks, even though it's only for a couple of days, but you have to have snacks. That's a prerequisite.
Right. It's that you normally, like for me, that I don't normally bring in the house, but it's like, oh, we might be here for a while. It's like, okay, I can sneak it kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
what is your go-to hurricane snack?
Chips or popcorn. Actually, bagged popcorn is my favorite, because it's easy and it's not too harmful to the diet after the. Yeah.
I don't think hurricane calories count. I'm not sure.
That's what they say, but I beg to differ. It just depends. Yeah.
So what have you learned about yourself the most from running a business?
That's a very deep question.
Oh.
And part of it goes back to being an introvert, and the business has, because of what you have to do to run a business has pushed me out of my comfort zone more times than I cared. But it's also caused me to grow, excuse me, and to become the person that I know I can be. Because an introvert, you want to stay in a little bubble over here where it's comfortable. And so stepping out and running business, I've done things that I never thought I could do. One has been one of the benefits has been traveling out of the country with business women, like-minded women, which is where that crew came from. That courage came from, that whole thing. So Basically, it's been a learning experience and stepping out of my comfort zone, stepping into the things that I've wanted to do. So yeah, that's huge for me.
That is, and as a fellow introvert, I totally get that. Like it's you end up in networking events and you're just like, is there
Why am
someone
I
I know?
Yeah, you search the room looking for someone but that traveling, especially traveling out of the country, um, it's different than just hopping on an airplane and traveling a couple states over or what have you. There's customs and things, and there's always that. What if they don't let me back in? Kind of. Even though I've done things that should uh, precipitate that, but it's always, what if they don't let me back in kind of thing. A little bit of fear there, but it's so attacking that and doing what you want to do. Yeah, and really, I think the biggest thing is still in doing those kinds of things.
And that leads me, so if you were talking to people that were thinking about starting a business, like what would be your advice with that?
First and foremost, it's never the piece of cake that you think it's going to be. When you're not self-employed, you're working for someone else, you think the self-employed life, the life. And it is. I'm not discounting that, but it's not all in games. You can't take off anytime you want. Yes, you can create a lifestyle around the life that you want, but there are things that have to be done, whether it's production, the business end of it, or what have you. So you have to create the business around the lifestyle that you want to have. Otherwise, because if the business controls your life, you end up with burnout, and then you're not going successful in your business, or you're not going to your all because you burn out. And so it's the realizing that business is a business. It does have to be worked. Yes, there's fun times, a lot of fun times. But there are also a lot of sacrifices that you have to make, as well as your family has to make. So it also involves a supportive spouse or children or family unit, whatever your family unit is. Because you can't go it alone. It's just not fun to go it alone. You need that support.
I think that's great advice. I think people do paint a very glamorous picture of it, and it's not. I always say you choose the 80 hours a week you work instead of just working 80 hours. Like,
right. I mean, I'm preparing for a house that I'm having in my studio in 2 weeks. That's going to involve more than just my normal, 30 to 40 hour work week. It's be some 60 and 80 hour, weeks leading up at, to make sure that everything place. But that's a sacrifice and a choice that I am making to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's great advice. Well, I know you're busy and you're getting ready for your open house, so I appreciate your time today and sharing all this great information and your products with us. So I'll make sure that I share all your links and stuff so everyone can check you out. And again, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Beth. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Thanks.
All right.